Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and guys, this is so random, and I'm so sorry, but I have yet again for you another foundation review, and all I can say is that I will stop reviewing them when they stop releasing them, okay? This is not my fault. This is a new one. It's highly requested. It's so affordable, and we have to see if it's good. Like, I can't help myself if it's the third one in a week. Like, that's not my fault, right? Like, I can't be held responsible. Don't hate me. That being said, you guys, you did probably see me all ready to go this morning. If you follow me over on Instagram, no, that is not what I was wearing over on Instagram. I was actually completely ready for the day. I stopped back home after my doctor's appointment to see the dogs, make sure everything was cool here, and I happened to look down and see this package, and I was like, yo, we gotta do it. We have to. Did I just say yo? Whoops. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right? When you're just like, you see that package and you're like, I don't need to, but like I need to, but like I need to know, but like it's the precious, it's the ring. It's like, I know how Frodo felt now when he was like, I need it, it puts the ring on. Because that's where I'm at. Excuse me, sir. I know that I'm late today, but I need you to not talk. Thank you. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is so much later than I would normally film. There's like garbage trucks. There's all kinds of extra noise that your girl's not used to. So I'm just gonna dive into today's video. It is super, super random, and I'm doing it at a weird time. I'm doing it weird. Things are weird. Everything is weird, and I'm okay with that because I am weird. So let's go ahead and dive in without any further ado here. We are gonna be playing around with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Foundation with hyaluronic acid, and it is spec'd as a medium to full coverage foundation. I did pick this up from the Ulta.com website, and on their website here it says that this is actually only a 0.7 fluid ounce bottle, and what that means is that a standard foundation is 1 full fluid ounce and this is only 0.7, so you are getting 30% less product in this bottle than any other bottle. Just something to keep in mind. Some people care, some people don't. This foundation is also only $12, so you know, if price point is any indication, at least it is on the more affordable side. Now down in the description, all it really adds is that this is formulated for every skin type and tone, but it is particularly beneficial for dry skin, which I thought was interesting because I'm normal to oily, so they're saying like it can work for me, which I'm very intrigued by. It says that it offers all day long radiance and glow without settling into fine lines or clinging to dry patches, also very interesting. It is housed in a luxe glass bottle with a new pump applicator for added control. This foundation does offer medium to full coverage, which again is what it specs on the bottle. There are no reviews or anything on it because it is brand new. It says available in 16 shades, and the shade range appears to be atrocious. There's about, out of these, how many, what is that, 16? Out of 16 shades, I would say there's like 2 that are deep, and they're not that deep, but they're on the deeper side. You've got probably 6 to 8 of them that are medium, again just going by like the little circle swatches on the website, and then all the other ones are fair. The moral of my story, that shade range, not good. But let's go ahead and get to applying here. Also, did it say there was a pump in here? Right, it did, didn't it? Oh my god, you guys, this is such an improvement. Thank you, Makeup Revolution. It was, I think on the other one, the matte one, it was like you had to dig in there and like it was a doe foot applicator for your face. This is nice. Like, this is a frosted glass component. It looks beautiful. It has a pump. Oh my good lord, yes. Now when it came to shades, speaking of a horrible shade range here 1 second ago, I had to pick up 2 different shades, and I'm probably going to mix them because here's my situation, okay? I grabbed F1, which is the second lightest. This says it is for fair skin tones with a neutral undertone. There was 1 shade lighter than this that had a yellow undertone, but everything between this, so F2, F3, F4, F5, and F6 are all light fair or medium light fair with pink undertone. Just to put that in perspective, okay, we have a very light yellow, a very light neutral, a bunch of pink undertones, and then all of a sudden at F7 we go back to a neutral undertone. I will never understand that shade range as long as I live, but I purchased both of them, F1 and F7, in the hopes that maybe we can make something work. I don't know. That's just what we're gonna do. And there they are in swatch. So we have F1 and F7. I will probably, like I said, mix them, but let's go ahead and just kind of, yeah. I actually think F7, yes, it would be a little bit too dark all over the face, but it's definitely closer than the other one. But let me just, I'm gonna mix them here. Oh wow, you mix them together and they're literally my skin. Okay, great. Love that. I'm going to mix 2 pumps of each color together just because I think that's a good place to start. I don't really know. While I'm mixing this, which by the way, 2 pumps of each is literally the perfect color for me. I did go ahead and prime and prep my skin. If you are new here, I always do 2 different sides of primer just to test out and see how it works better if one side is better than the other. So on this side, I did my control variable. It is my Tatcha Silk Canvas, what I use all the time. Then on this side, I went in with my Becca Skin Love Brighten and Blur Primer. It is infused infused with Glow Nectar Brightening Hydra Complex. So it does have a little bit of a hydrating undertone, but it also is going to give me like a light blurring effect. So it's just nice to see two different primers, see how it works. Now for application here, I'm just gonna go in with my Real Techniques complexion sponge and see how we get as far as, holy crap. Do you see the coverage? Am I seeing things? Is that really pretty, or is it just me? Guys, I feel like I'm in a dream. Is that gorgeous? Is that gorgeous? Oh my God. And to think I almost didn't want to try this. Hello? By the way, I know I've talked about this sponge a lot on my channel, but this is the bigger version. This is the Real Techniques face and body sponge. The smaller one, the normal size sponge, that I believe is called the Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I love this one just because, like, look at how fast it literally does half a face. Like, it's insane. Like, I cannot believe how beautiful that looks. Oh my, like, and it literally does, like, wow, wow. Now, I did also pick up their Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. This retails for $10. I picked it up in the lightest two shades, so C0.2 and C1. And let me read down here in the details. It says that this is a lightweight finish with a boost of moisture, offering all-day hydration thanks to an infusion of hyaluronic acid, just like the foundation. It covers blemishes, even skin tones, and counteracts dark circles while drenching skin with moisture. Designed for drier skin, the sheer satin finish won't settle into fine lines, and the doe foot applicator allows for a smooth, delicate application, and it is cruelty-free. This is available in 16 shades. For some reason, they have more medium skin tones in the concealer, it looks like, and less of the light and less of the deep, but just a lot more medium. I don't know what that's all about, but for what it's worth, this shade range isn't that great either. Now, when it comes to my under eyes, I will say they typically gravitate more towards like a natural satin finish. For example, they love like the Too Faced Born This Way or the Tarte Shape Tape, which is a little more matte, but my under eyes do really like those. When it comes to hydrating, they like some, not others. It really all depends on the formula. So we are, like I said, we're just gonna take a look and see. Here are the shades. So this one is C0.2 and this is C1. I don't know that I like the undertone of C0.2. It is insanely yellow. On camera, it just looks really bright, which is very nice, but it looks very, very yellow in person. That could be good. Maybe it would like add some brightness to the under eye. I'm not really sure. For right now, I want to start with C1, which is the more demure of the colors, and I want to apply it, and we're just gonna see, again, consistency and all of that. How does it look on the under eye? And I'm going to blend that out first. Again, grab my sponge. The finish actually doesn't seem overly hydrating, which is really nice because that does mean that I think it could pull decent on my undertone. Let's go ahead here and do this side as well. I'm also going to go ahead real quick here and shape out the rest of the face, just a freckle. Now I am also going to take a little bit of C0.2 here. I didn't add any coverage because I wanted to take a freckle of this and see if I could build some coverage, but also add a little brightness. Okay, so that actually blended in beautiful. The coverage it built up is stunning. Like, can you guys even see? Like, hello, imperfection, never heard of her. What happened on my skin? I don't know. The whole thing is settling down beautiful into my pores, by the way. With like foundation, concealer, it's stunning. Like, I'm so impressed. All right, and then to set the face, I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair. Did you guys just see that? I was like full on cheese mode. I'm like, oh my God, I love my powder, because I love this so much. I do set my entire face because, again, I am normal to oily. If you are not normal to oily, if you're more on the dry side and you don't like to set your foundation or what have you, that is totally fine. What I like to do is I go through for my foundation reviews and I get my under eyes set down, and I do that just by patting out the creases, and then I lightly press in some powder right on into the cracks and crevices, or crevasses as I like to call them. And then I do the same thing on the forehead. I gotta beat out this Hulk wrinkle because, girl, she don't play around. And then we set her. Now at this point that I've went through and I have set those areas on my skin, the rest of it has had a chance to kind of dry down, so I like to do a little touch test and tell you guys how it is setting, which it's drying down a little bit, but oh no, it's definitely getting a ton of transfer. Yeah, if you are even on the dry side and you're wanting to blend on top of this, you will more than likely have to set it, even if it's very, very light with like a finishing powder or something. You'll probably have to do that just to be able to blend because it's still incredibly tacky. And I've been kind of messing around trying to give it time to dry for like 4 or 5 minutes now, so just something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead here with my JH01 brush, and I'm going to lightly set the rest of my face. All right, so guys, this is where we're at. Hello, what is happening? My hair looks all kind of crazy. See, this is what happens when you try to film after you've already been out in the world. You let the wind breeze through your hair, honey. This is what you look like. You're looking a little bit rough, a little crazy. I'm gonna go ahead, finish up the rest of my face, and I'll be right back to go over some thoughts. So hang tight and I will be right back. All right, you guys, we are back. Face is on. Let's go ahead and chit chat about my foundation, because you guys, it looks insane. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the close-up for you guys so you can see it at the same time I am, but this looks so beautiful. It is settling into my skin. It is flawless. It literally sat right down. It's not thick or cakey because of the powder, which is amazing. It's looking so gorgeous, even on my more textured areas, like around my mouth, around my nose, on my nose, even on my forehead. It looks so smooth, and right now I'm just insanely impressed. And by the way, I also wanted to touch on setting sprays, because your girl didn't talk about it a second ago, but to set this down, I used a combination of 3 setting sprays. Lately, I've just been getting so extra with my sprays because I love so many of them for so many different reasons. But I started off and I first set it down with a little bit of the ABH Dewy set, just to set it down and start letting it really soak and settle into the skin. I applied my highlight. Then I used my Maybelline Lasting Fix spray. This is a really nice, almost more of a long wearing setting spray. And then over top of that, I took some of my NYX Bear With Me spray. As you guys can tell, I really have been enjoying this. Overall, I'm just so impressed with how this is looking for a dewy foundation to be set down and to just have this level of smooth to it. And I also wanted to mention, you guys saw me apply it. That was in like real time. I know I probably took out me stuttering like 2 or 3 times, but as far as application goes, it applied like that. It was so easy and even, and I didn't have to build it up. Like, this coverage just happened. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go. If not, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna stare at myself. I'm gonna become a real life narcissist. So I'm going to go do all the things. I will stop back on. I'll tell you how it wore, all that good stuff. So hang tight and I will be right back. All right, you guys, it is officially the end of the day, and this makeup has been on my face for about 8 hours. Normally I do like a 10 plus hour wear test, but even though it is a freckle shorter than usual, let me tell you guys, okay, this got the wear test of a lifetime. Your girl was out walking in a field in 86-degree heat, sweating, and this whole area right here, girl, I don't even know how I have skin left. I was so sweaty. It was a hot day in the northern MI. So like I said, just keep that in mind as we kind of move through this. Like, yes, it's a couple hours shy of norm, but it's still got a wear test. I was out, I was walking around, I was in the sun. I actually had a chiropractor appointment, so I was like face down in the little thingamajig, and it's a whole thing. Like, your girl got her wear test on. But let's go ahead and get started, because I want to dive into my thoughts on this foundation with you. So let's go ahead and throw up the up close right now for you guys, and then I'll kind of talk you through what you are seeing. So first up, the thing you'll probably notice are the smile lines. Those did take a little while to form. I'd say probably 4 or 5 hours. And this, after 8 hours, I don't think is too bad. Now, around my mouth, on like the chin and upper lip area, even on the sides of my mouth a little bit as well, it does look a little bit dry. It's not overly so, but it does look a little bit more matte in that area, and I'll talk about that here in a second and why I think that's the case. But overall, the creasing and stuff like that wasn't too bad. I do feel like my cheeks, for the most part, remained pretty smooth and like demure over those. I didn't have too many issues. I think if I had to round out my thoughts with this foundation and what I think overall, I think it is a beautiful foundation. I will say the coverage is stunning. Like, it was, you guys saw it, it was great. The coverage lasted all day. I didn't have any issues with that. But for me, as someone who does have to set her face, and I am like on that normal to oily spectrum like I've mentioned, this is the type of foundation I would have to be very careful with, because when I first applied it, oh my god, you guys, it was so good. Like, if you are normal to dry and you are looking for full coverage and you want something that's going to sit on your skin and be beautiful and dewy, but not too dewy, like, it's not as dewy as I would say the Flower Beauty foundation, that Light Illusion, girl, that stuff is like dewy central, and this isn't that far. I would say that this is maybe like 20 to 30% dewier than the ABH foundation, the luminous one that I just reviewed. I can link it up here for you guys if I haven't already at some point in this video. I feel like this one, when I reviewed it, it was beautiful, and it was like a light luminosity that kind of developed throughout the day, and it wore stunningly, and I really like this foundation overall. But I do feel like this one from Makeup Revolution had a little bit more dewiness to it. The main difference between the two is that when I set this one, I really wasn't ever able able to regain that level of dewiness. Now, I did set this with my Maybelline Fit Me in 05 Fair, and I think if I were to set this again, which I definitely will wear it and play around with it, I would say set this, if you have to set your foundation again to blend or your normal to oily or whatever, be mindful setting this and do so with a very light powder. I'm talking like I would actually probably try to set this with like my Jeffree Star powder or a Fenty powder, something that is very, very lightweight on the skin and something that will allow the dewiness of the foundation itself to kind of come through the powder. I feel like the one from Maybelline is a great powder, don't get me wrong, I love it so freaking much, but it didn't allow that dewiness to come through. That being said, I feel like this foundation actually wore very matte on me today because of that powder. Now, I do think that even with it being more on the matte side, it held out like a champ. Now, one thing I want to test out now that we've done the up close though, I want to take, I'm gonna grab this one right here. This is the ABH Dewy Set, and I want to just test something out real quick. Really just giving it a good old spray, because my theory with this foundation, which is what I'm testing right now, is I feel like this is the type of foundation that will wear beautifully and you can set it, but I think it's going to want some very supportive attributes along the way. Meaning, if you are going to set this with a powder, I think it's going to need a more hydrating base, like a primer aspect, and I also think it's going to need more primer spray on top of it to help keep that luminosity. Yeah, because what I feel like just in giving it that one drink right now after 8 hours, it already gave it back some of that like nice kind of lustrous, like healthy look to the skin. And then like even around my mouth, the matte look I was having dissipated almost instantly. So I think that would be another piece of advice I would give you, is if you are on the normal to oily spectrum like I am and you are looking to test this out, be very mindful of how you set it, how much you set it, that type of thing, but also be mindful to give it that hydration back and allow it to deliver its own hydration throughout the day, if that makes sense. Because overall, like, look at this. Look at how good my skin still looks for how long I've been wearing this. Like, I truly am impressed. I think it's beautiful. Their other foundation I actually didn't care for when I tested it out back when they released it. Like, I wore it once and it looked so bad on me, I never touched it again. So for me, of the two, this is definitely the one I would prefer. I think the only people that will not like this foundation or love it are the ones that have to set their face much more aggressively than other people. I think that would be the main discerning factor. But overall, you guys, those are my thoughts. I'm sorry this wrap up was so long, but I wanted to give you as much information as I could. So those are my thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys down below. Are you curious? What do you think? Personally, love the redesigned packaging. So happy about that. So happy about the coverage. I'm pretty impressed with it overall. Like, hello, do you see my skin? Still, like, there's nothing. Like, the girl's got what? Acne where? I've never seen her, never heard of her. Never did I rob a bank with her. I don't know what you're saying. No, thank you. But anyways, you guys, those are my thoughts. Be sure to leave me yours down below. What do you think? Do you think it was great? Are you curious about this? For 12 bucks, are you kind of like, hey, I'll take a chance on that? Maybe not. Like, what are your thoughts and opinions? Leave them down below. Also, don't forget, while you're down there, you can check me out on Instagram and on Twitter. They are both linked down in the description box. And if you haven't done so yet, you can also subscribe and turn on your post notifications for this here YouTube channel. I do upload 5 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They go up bright and early between 6 and 7 a.m. my time here in Northern Michigan. And I promise you, I do things other than foundation reviews. Yes, there may or may not be 1 or 2 next week, but like, we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about this week. We're talking about all the things I have in store, you guys. I am feeling so happy and so in love with my channel and with you guys lately. And I just feel, I'm like excited to keep pumping out reviews and videos and just everything. So definitely subscribe, turn on your post notifications. And you guys, that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to have a great day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Domo. Bop, tip top, I do, I do, tip top, I do, yeah. It's housed in a glass. It's housed in a gloss page. Glass, not gloss. Lux and glass. Lux glass, not gloss.